record. All right, ladies. So it is February 2nd, 2016. This is our team call for the week. And it's my pleasure to have our special guest, Micki Fernandez, on our call. Micki's special to me. If you guys don't know her, she's Mama E, one of the co-founders of Team Eagle. It's a very funny story. I only knew her face from Facebook. But when I first signed up as a coach, I went to Joel Osteen at Yankee Stadium, and out of a sea of like 30,000 people, literally at the top of the stairs I was going up was Mama Eagle. And I was like, oh, Ray, it's Micki Fernandez. And he's like, who the frig is Micki Fernandez? I'm like, she's Mama Eagle. So I ran up to her and I was like, what are the chances of like connecting on a team and then also being brought together, because she's very spiritual like I am, at an event that was spiritual. So Micki has been a great supporter of mine, a supporter of our team, always there for anything that I could possibly ever need. So it is my pleasure to introduce to you 10-star diamond, 2-time elite, Success Club 10 all-star legend, Mama E. Right? Is that good? Was that good?
You did good. Angela, thank you so much for having me on the call. It's so nice to see you ladies. And Elise, I haven't seen you in a hot minute, girlfriend. Where you been?
Oh, she was in Bali for like months.
I know she was away. It's so nice to see her. But anyhow, thank you so much for inviting me on the call. And, as I hear you introduce me with, all those fancy titles and whatnot, sometimes I have to take a step back and say, did I do all that? Because sometimes it just seems like so far-fetched for us to reach like this big, huge, scary goal. And before I got on the call, I was just reflecting, because today's a very special day in my life. And I started asking, Micki, what made you successful, And it's because I've always been a dreamer, I've always been a dreamer since I was a kid. And I'm actually reading this great book that talks about how we were all made for a God-sized dream. And in the first chapter, it talks about if you had dreams when you were a kid. So, and I'm replaying in my mind, like, what was my dream when I was a child? Like, I'm thinking deep. And usually, kids, and if you guys are parents, some of our kids, they'll say, like, I want to be a nurse, I want to be a teacher, and they say what they want to be when they grow up. Except I never said anything specific. So I asked my mama Dukes, I'm like, yo, ma, did I ever tell you that I wanted to be something special when I grew up? And so she says she couldn't remember, but, God bless her. She's almost 85. So, so I said to the mom, but did you know what you wanted to be when you were a kid? She says, not really. All I knew, I was not going to be a nun. That much I knew. She's a firecracker. Anyway, I just wanted to share.
Yes, she's my favorite. Mama
It's so funny. But the one thing that I always did as a child, and I don't know if it has anything to do with what I do today, you be the judge of that. But I always had short hair even as a child, because my mom never wanted to comb my hair. So she kept my hair short. So I would wear turtlenecks and put them on my head because I wanted to have long hair. So the sleeves were my long hair, and I would just, swing back and forth, and I would take a brush and I would get in front of the mirror and I would start singing and I would start performing. And I always felt like somebody was watching me and I was going to be discovered and I was going to be up on stage talking to people or singing. That I do remember as a child, like 5 or 6 years old, So I think I do that today. I'm always performing because I love being in front of crowds, and I love sharing my story, and I love to inspire, and that I hope that my story tonight and that I'm going to share with you inspires you to dream bigger and, go after what you really want. But what's made me successful, I'm sorry, Nicole, you're leaving us. Was it something that I said?
No, she has tenant issues, I think.
But the one thing that has made me successful, and there's still so much room for growth, has been my struggles. It's my struggles that has made me successful. And, that may sound a little bit strange, maybe to some of you. And I don't know what everybody's background is, but my background was I struggled. You know, all I knew in my life was that struggling was the norm. It was normal to struggle because that's what I grew up in. And I actually shared a post I think it was last year sometime, and I'm going to share with you because I did bullet points on my life, on my story. And it was my story that got me where I am today. And so many people are ashamed of their background. They're ashamed of the things that they've have gone through or maybe are still going through, struggling with. And it's exactly those things that are going to make you a badass, you know? That's why I love Angela so much. Yeah, she's a badass. But, you know, I was raised, you know, by a single mom. I was raised by my grandma. I had a deadbeat dad. And as a matter of fact, today is his 7th anniversary that he was called to heaven. That's why it is a special day for me today. And, you know, that affected me. It affected me tremendously to have a deadbeat dad because it affected my relationships with men because of my relationship with my dad. So because of him, I had to start working at the age of 12 to help my mom pay for bills because he was just never around. And so I was the eldest. And I think I've been like a mama eagle since I was very young. Yeah, I just took on that role. And I've always been very overprotective of my siblings, Edith and Tony. They're both on the team. And because of all that, I became very bitter and very unforgiving. So I had a problem forgiving people who did wrong by me. I don't know if anybody can relate to being unforgiving, but it's not a good thing. I am a college dropout, and I used to be, every time I say that part, like I get emotional all the freaking time. I used to be ashamed to say I was a college dropout, and especially because, you know, I was in corporate America for 27 years, and I had a really great job in corporate America. I was a vice president at Citibank, and I managed one of their largest branches here in New York. And so I was always surrounded by, you know, my colleagues who had their masters, and all I had was a high school degree and a passion and a drive that I wanted to succeed. That much I had, and no one can take that away from me. I've been divorced twice. I didn't get it right the first time. Happened again, you know. So that I used to be ashamed to share because I felt like a failure. I was unable to conceive at the age of 33. I went through menopause and I love children. But here I am. I have a team of over 9,000 Eagles, and Team Eagle is my baby. And I didn't have to go through a lot of labor pain. Actually, I did go to labor pain. My labor pain was this story that I'm sharing with you. I was financially broke because the more money I made, the more money I spent. And I had a poverty mentality. And the reason I had a poverty mentality because it was everything that I just shared with you, you know? You know, at 12 years old, like a 12-year-old should not be working at a sweatshop. You know, a 12-year-old should not be getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, you know, to help mom pay for bills. That never stopped me. As a matter of fact, that became my driving force. Because my mom has been everybody who knows me knows Mama Dukes is my life. I do everything for the little lady. She's a pain in my ass, but I do everything for her, you know? So she became my driving force. And, you know, to see mom, and even my grandmother, you know, my grandmother came to this country not even knowing the language. My grandma was a hustler, and as I know that's where I get it from. You know, she left her country to come here and not know the language, not know anyone, and just work her butt off, you know, and buy this house that I'm living in right now. And now this business is giving me the opportunity to preserve the home because this house became Ellis Island for my family. My grandmother just sponsored so many people, and it was a revolving door, you know. She would house people in here. She was a businesswoman, so she charged. Nothing was for free for grandma, you know. She was a businesswoman. But she kept people here and helped them until they were able to get on their own 2 feet and then go. And then after they left, and the next round came in. So I am a lot like my grandmother. I am my grandmother's grandchild for sure. So all that is what drives me. All that is what drives me. And, for many years, I was stuck in corporate America because I felt that was, I had a 6-figure salary. Again, I was a college dropout. Where was I going to go? I was getting good money and I was miserable. I was very miserable at that job. I didn't feel like I was serving a purpose at all, but there was a desire inside of me and I just couldn't pinpoint it. Like I knew there was more, there was something else for me. And that something else for me was always under my nose. But sometimes, we wear blinders and we're too blind to see it because we allow life to distract us. We allow circumstances to distract us. And so I joined Beachbody in 2009 because I saw my brother's transformation. And for those of you that know my brother's a really shy kind of, kid. I still call him kid because he's my little brother. And, doing the P90X, he lost 60 pounds and he actually started talking a little bit more, which was not like him. And so I went ahead and I decided, let me give this PX90, that's what I used to call it. Let me give this PX90 stuff, a try. And I did, and I loved it. And so I joined because I wanted the discount, but I didn't know there was a business opportunity at all. All I knew was I wanted the discount and I love to share and I'm a talker. And before you knew it, 2009 was just my brother, my sister, and me. And today we're getting really close to 9,000 coaches. Just because, one person said yes to this business opportunity. So your yes, there's a lot of people that are still waiting for you to go out there and recruit them. But what was my turning point? My turning point to make this a full-time career. And by a show of hands, just so I can know my audience, how many of you work a full-time job? Oh, a lot of you do. Okay, most of you do. Because I get a lot of people that tell me, well, Micki, I work a full-time job. It's just really hard for me to find the time, to work this business. I don't know if you feel that way. But initially it actually took me 2 years to work this business. So I sat on my ass for 2 years. I wish, sometimes I want to kick myself in the butt for waiting those 2 years. I wish I would have taken action from the beginning, but I had no guidance. I had no guidance at all. Everyone that's coming into this business now has guidance. So my first check with this, with this business, as a matter of fact, I want to share something if that's okay with you. Let me just, tell me if you see this. Do you see that screen? Where it says
Yes.
Monthly income?
Yep.
Okay. So there's a story behind all this. So I want to share this. And I want to tell you that it was very hard for me at first to share my income with coaches because of my background. Like, working in banking, it was taboo to talk about salary. You don't talk about how much money you make, especially when the banking industry, a lot of industry they've stopped giving raises to people. So it was always bickering. What do you mean you got 2%? I only got 0.5%. That's all they paid you. So my first 6 months as a coach, I made $30. That was my first challenge pack that I sold. Yay, that bought me a Metro card. That didn't catch my attention at all. Like, yeah, whatever, nice $30 check. A year later, $140. All right, so I sold maybe 4 more. 4 more challenge packs, 4 more Shakeology. Actually, they didn't have challenge packs back then. And just so you could know why it makes sense, guys, to just stick with this business, because when I started in 2009, Team Beachbody was only 2 years old. Okay, that's all. The network of coaches was only 2 years old. And when I joined, there were only 18,000 coaches in the organization, the entire Team Beachbody. And to think that is Team Eagle's goal for the end of this year, to be what Team Beachbody was back in 2009. And so here we are with over 400,000 in the network. A year and a half later after that, 640 I was making a month. At this point, I'm like, okay, I could pay my car payment, my insurance. So it was making a difference. At this point, I was going the back office to try to like, okay, so let me see how this really works. And the beauty about this business, guys, is that if you're a willing learner and you allow, because you have to give permission to yourself to want to work this business, right? The answer is right in your fingertips. Like, seriously, it really is. And as you see, I progressed. So within 3 months, from 18 months to 21 months, I almost doubled it. So how did that happen? I started paying attention. I started going to my back office to understand, how do I make money with this company? Like, how does this all work? And I'm going to keep it real. I'm all about hashtag keeping it real. What I know today, I didn't know back then, because there's so many avenues to grow this business. Like, literally, we need, and I was talking to Saudi about this last Friday, I want to host a workshop, 3 to 4 hours, to talk about the different revenue strategies with this business. It's crazy. So, close to 4 years later, then I was making 5,000. And I did this chart. This was back in September, I think it is. So as of today, right now, as I speak, I'm bringing in a month close to 20,000.
Wow.
That's how much I'm bringing in a month. And it took it took sleepless nights. It took investing into my team. And it took me to fully understand the importance of Success Club, because that is where the magic is. That is how you build. That's how you build your income in this business. And you don't, and if your goal is to build a 6-figure business, you have to recruit. That goes without saying. And a lot of coaches are scared of the word recruit. And recruit is actually a really good thing, because when you're recruited, it's because you're good at something, right? They do that with basketball teams, baseball, football. They all get recruited to play on their teams. So when we're recruiting, we really need to talk to people and share with them. Like, even if you don't have a financial success story yet, because you will, you already have my success story right now that you can share. And that's the reason that I had to start sharing how good this business has been to me. I just shared earlier how important my mother is to me. And this business is a business that, that gave me the opportunity to build her a brand new kitchen and pay all cash for it. And any of you that are homeowners, that, rebuilding a kitchen is not chump change. It does cost a couple of dollars. And this business of staying home and sometimes working in my PJs is what's helped me to do this. And I'm just adding more goals to this. But you need to treat your business you really need to treat this like a business and not treat it like a hobby. Like I said, I sat on my butt for 2 years because I was comfortable in corporate America, because I didn't really understand. So you really need to understand how you make money with Beachbody. And I'll stop sharing this here for 1 second. Okay. And we all know that, right now, of 2 ways. And the 2 ways is the retail side. And then the other way is the team cycle. And retail sales will only get you so far. Okay. But I'm going to share with you what I did. When I made a conscious decision that I was going to replace my Citibank income, I made it a non-negotiable. It was a non-negotiable. Like, I was just going to do it. I was going to achieve Success Club 20 every month. It scared the crap out of me, because back at that time, I was sometimes barely even making 5. So to hit 20, it was like, that's some scary number. That's 10 people that I have to work on. So what did I do to make it happen? I got to work. That's what happened. I got to work. I set up my business hours. You have to set up business hours. Back then we didn't have power hours like we have now. And I know that I'm sure Angela shared with you this new power hour setup that was shared with us to us. And that's the beauty about this. That's the beauty about this company, is that all coaches are just willing to share what's working for them, and that power hour is gold. It really is. So don't negotiate using that power hour at all, that document. I mean, you guys are in a position to be more successful than me, seriously. And that's my goal. I want everybody to be more successful than me, seriously. I'm just happy that I was able to pave the way for so many people. But setting up your business hours is key. Every successful business owner has hours. You go to any department store, you know that you can only go between the hours of 8 and 10 o'clock. Before that, after that, you can't go in there. When you're going to set up an appointment to go to your doctor, you know that your doctor's office is only open up from 9 to 5. Those are the only hours you can go there. When you want to get your nails, wherever you go to make an appointment, they have business hours. So why shouldn't you? Okay. And, many coaches will say, well, people just don't, they don't really believe that this is real. I'm like, well, do you believe it's real? Because you need to believe it yourself, and you need to carry yourself. Your posture needs to be as a successful Beachbody coach. Like, fake it till you make it. But you've got those business hours are non-negotiable. So that's the first thing that I did, guys. Even with my crazy job, I would leave my house 7:30 in the morning, and I wouldn't get home. There were days till 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night from banking, and I was exhausted. I don't have any children, so I can't say, I don't have a reason to say that it's because of children that I couldn't work the business. It was my job. My job sucked the life out of me. And we all have a why, right? And your why will change over time based on your circumstances. So back then, my why was that I hated Citibank. And I don't use the word hate so freely because it's such an ugly word, but I really hated it because it was affecting my health. It was affecting my relationships. So it was actually something negative that became a driving force for me. It didn't matter whether I got home at 9 o'clock, at 10 o'clock. I sat down and worked my business. It was sending out invites. It was following up, because the fortune's in the follow-up. So that's what I did. I broke up my business. In the morning, I would check in emails, check into my challenge groups, and then in the evening, that's when I did what we call now a power hour. I didn't know it was a power hour back then, but that's what I was doing. And that's by being consistent and doing that all the time, guys, and just and mind you, they didn't have anything such as the coach opportunity calls or the backstage pass. Like, we didn't have any of that back then. All I know is that I just brought everybody in as a coach. You want to be part of my team? This is how you do it. Like, I didn't even give them the option for the challenge as a customer, because I came in as a coach. So because I came in as a coach, why shouldn't you? And if they ask me, well, why do I have to give you my social security number? I'm like, well, because this business gives you the opportunity to make money. And so if you start making money over $600, then, we have to report it. Like, oh, I can make money. So that's how it all started. So use that to your advantage. If somebody's asking you, well, why do I have to give you my social? Because this actually gives you the opportunity to make some extra money. So if you can use an extra $500 a month, I can help you. And that's how I did it. And I just didn't back out from that. The second thing that I did was track my business. Every successful business owner tracks their business. The back office has a business activity tracker. It's like I tell my team, listen, I don't care how you track your business. I don't care if you put in a freaking napkin. Just track your business, If your goal, like right now, we're in the middle of a cup challenge. And, I set out a scary goal for myself. And I'm determined to help 20 people this month. Like, I'm determined to help 20 people. I've never done it before. So why not now? And why not me? So I know that I need to bump up my activity. So that's why you need to track your business. Because if you're not on track with those weekly goals, and you've got to set weekly goals so that you're working towards something. And then it's a matter of duplicating that with your team. Because in this business, you need to have the 80-20 rule. And the 80-20 rule is that 80% of your time, you are building your business by inviting people, either to the challenge group, as a business opportunity, sending out messages to your challengers, to your customers from the back office. 80% of your business should be doing that. And then 20% with your team. Because when your team, this is how you duplicate this, and I'm going to show you a slide. When your team does the 80-20 rule, when they do their 80%, their 80 becomes your team component. And that's the fruit of this business. The fruit of this business is team cycle. That's where the fun starts. That is how, this is all about residual income. And, that's how I was, when I took my first vacation with Beachbody, and I went to Greece for 10 days. I didn't worry that I was not going to get paid, because I knew I had residual income. And I knew that income was coming in regardless. While I was, in Santorini somewhere sunbathing, I knew I was getting paid. Where, those that have a corporate job, I know I would only get 4 weeks. If I wanted more than 4 weeks, then I wasn't getting paid. Business, you get paid. Like right now, my business is working for me right now as I'm talking to you. That's the beauty of this. So you got to track it and then have your team do the same thing. And also understand, guys, that in this business, not everybody will work it. You don't need every single coach in your team to work this. And I'm going to show you. I want to show you. We had actually a presentation last Friday on Show Me the Money. Because at the end of the day, guys, when you start, that's what caught my attention. That's when I started working the business, when I'm like, wait a minute, I'm getting paid. And I don't know about you guys, but, I could use the extra cash every week. We all can. People who don't have money need money. People who have money, they always want to make more money. And this is a business that satisfies both type of people. So let me come here because I want to share with you. Let me see. I'm really bad at sharing screen sometimes. So let me know. Do you see Show Me the Money?
No, not yet.
Hold on.
Oh, I see it at the bottom, Micki.
You see it at the bottom? Okay, hold on.
It was like a tab at the bottom.
Let's see. I need lessons on how to manage Zoom. What about now?
Oh, yes. Got it.
Okay. All right. So which is the screen that I really want to share here? There's a lot of screens here, but this is the one that I really want to talk about. Well, actually, no. Let me first do this one. Okay. So this is the screen that Saudi used. That's not my husband. That's Saudi's husband. I'm still praying for one. Okay, hold on.
He's coming.
He's coming. I'm waiting for the big man upstairs to send him down. Let's see. If I do a slideshow, does it work? Does it look bigger now?
No.
No? It still looks small?
Yeah.
It does? Okay. All right. It looks big on my screen. All right. So the first thing you want to do, guys, is because we all want to bring extra income home, is if you're married, guys, get your husband to sign up as a coach. Okay. If you don't have a husband like me, then you want to sign up a parent. Or if you have kids of age 18 or over, you want to bring in your child. And the reason you want to do that is because you want to be able to control this account. It's not to say that these individuals are going to work the business. I know the day that I get married, I don't want my husband to work the business with me. This is, I stay here, you stay there. I need my space. But I'm going to need him. I'm going to need him to open up an account so that I can bring more income. And you always want to set up that other account on your weak leg. Okay. as you know, we have a weak leg and we have a strong leg. And please, if I'm saying something that doesn't make sense, just please stop me, okay? Yes, Elisa.
Hold on, let me, where's Alyssa? Go ahead, Liz.
Okay, so really fast, I try to understand the whole weak leg, strong leg, right leg, left leg, peg leg thing, and like I just always get confused with it. And I'm not a business. It's very hard for me to understand. So can you kind of just like break it down in a way for like a child to understand?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so our business is a binary business.
Okay.
It means that you have a left side and you have a right side.
Okay.
Just like your body, a left side and a right side. All right. So for the most part, it doesn't happen all the time, but for the most part, your strong leg will be the leg that your coach, the leg that you're under your coach. Okay.
Okay.
Because the way this business works, as far as volume is concerned, you benefit from the coaches that your upline coach places on that leg. So you benefit from everything that's above you and below you. So always remember that your strong leg is where your upline coach is right above you. So if your upline coach is working the business, they'll be building that leg. They'll be adding people there. So you'll see people that you didn't sponsor, but you see them in your back.
Okay.
So you benefit from those people.
Okay. So then like for me as of now, I mean, I'm working on gaining more coaches underneath me. As of now, I have one, but she's not as strong. And it's also that I'm looking at are like, no, I want to drink. What's up with that? I don't want to work out. So it's my audience right now. I have to like spread out. I have to go out more, try to understand. But so the coaches that are under Angela, so like these coaches that are in Team Titanium, like I get a benefit off of them and they get a benefit off of me. Is that what you're saying? Because we're all on the same leg. Okay. So then.
Yeah, you're on the same
leg. So then what happens if, so like the coach I do have, her name is Aaliyah. So she isn't working it as strong, but let's say she signs up. Let's say she sells a challenge pack. Mm-hmm. So I then get something off of what Aaliyah is working since she's underneath me on my strong side.
You do as long as you cycle out.
So Alyssa, but this is the thing. You don't get that benefit of a team cycle bonus until you're an emerald.
Right.
No, I understand that part.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So once I'm okay.
Yeah, and that's why your first goal is to be an emerald, because as a coach, you're only working for yourself. It's just retail sales. The team cycle starts happening when you put a coach in your left leg and a coach in your right leg.
And how does that's what I'm confused about. So does that mean that, because if I put one underneath my right leg, isn't that the one that's like under Angela? So how do I I think my question is, how do I differentiate like what leg to put them on, if that makes sense?
Alyssa, I can go through the back office with you and show you exactly where.
I'll probably need that because I think I have more questions and I don't want to take up too much time.
Yeah, there's I can teach you how to go into your little genealogy and we'll figure it out.
It'll make sense to you, Lisa.
In
the beginning, trust me, I was like, what is this? Is like Chinese. What is this?
Yeah.
You know? And then when I had that aha moment, I'm like, hold up a second. Wait a minute. You can make good money in this business.
I need that.
So that's why, it's, if you have a spouse, it'll be great to put your spouse under your left leg, which is, on your weak leg, I should say, because my weak leg happens to me right. Sometimes people is your left, but whatever leg it is, you want your husband in that leg because you want to benefit. It's almost like you're double dipping. And what I mean by that is, so I'm going to use Angela for an example. So Angela hits Success Club 10 in her business. Now, any other retail sales, she wants to put that under her husband's account. The retail sales under her husband's account, you're still getting the income revenue on the sales of the challenge packs, but you're also building volume under your husband's account. And that's going to cycle out more money. So that's the reason it makes sense if you do have a spouse or a significant other or a parent, to put them on that weak leg and then have them hit Success Club. because then what happens is this: they achieve Success Club. And then again, you do the double whammy with the money. And once they get to an Emerald coach, because eventually you want to build them up to a diamond. So once they get to be an Emerald coach, then you get double leads. And Beachbody, I don't know of any other company that gives you double leads, or it gives you free leads just for hitting your monthly goal. So not only are you going to get leads on your account, you're going to get leads on that second account. Again, double whammy. And that's what a lot of coaches, and again, like we can do a whole workshop on this with all kinds of graphs, which is what my goal is. Because I'm such a visual person, I like to show people graphs, but that's how a lot of these coaches are building their businesses and making money. There's a lot of strategy with this. But this is where, did this one here? This one. Okay. All right. So this is here your Diamond Dream Team. Now,
Micki, I still see Rolly.
You still see Rolly? Oh, sugar. I don't want to see Rolly anymore. Hold on. I don't want to see Rolly anymore. Maybe I have to. I told you I don't know how to use this stuff. Let me see. Let me share again. Sorry, guys. What about now?
Good.
Good?
Yep.
Maybe I should just leave it like this. I think making the screen bigger, I made it worse. Okay. So this is how you plan your Diamond Dream Team. Okay. On the team cycle, this is how we make money. Okay. A cycle, just so everybody can understand, Beachbody pays you depending on your ranking. But as a diamond coach, and I'm going to talk diamond here because I believe that's what everybody's goal is here. If not, I just gave it to you, is to make $18 a cycle. So the cycle is based on your team volume. What does team volume mean? And I'm going to explain this because I realize that sometimes I assume too much and I just assume that people know. And many of my coaches were like, well, what really is that? I'm like, uh-oh, I better go back. So you see here on the Diamond Dream Team, it has in the middle, it says you, okay? So you have a value of 90 PVs, 90 personal volume. All of our products all have a volume assigned to it. So Shakeology has 90 PVs, that's personal volume, okay? Then in order for you to be a diamond coach, you need 4 active coaches on your left leg, in this example here, and 4 coaches on your right leg. And then one of those coaches needs to be an emerald on each leg. Now, this is a really simple example here. Now, each coach has 90 PVs because they're all on Shakeology HD. So when you add up all the 90 PVs from your 4 coaches to on your left leg, and then you add the 90 PVs of the 2 coaches that are assigned to your emerald coach, that totals up 540 team volume. So the team volume is the sum of your entire left leg. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then it's the same thing for your right leg. So when you take a look at a diamond coach is worth at least minimum 1,080 team volume combined between both legs. So you're going to get paid on volume. So the more volume you make, the more payout you get, because Beachbody deducts 200 out of a strong leg and 100 out of the weak leg. And that's what equals 1 team cycle. So for a diamond, it's $18. And let me just stop here. I just want to make sure that what I'm saying makes sense.
Let's see. If anybody has a question, just put it in the chat.
Okay.
I can't see everybody since you're sharing your screen.
Okay.
Chat box.
So
no.
So now what happens, this is why it's so important, guys. You know, as you see here, this Diamond Dream Team, this is what happens to a lot of coaches. They hit Diamond like this, and then they stop working the business. Like, oh, I'm Diamond, you know, there's going to be, you know, money coming out of the skies. I'm going to make all this money. No, not at all. This is when you have to rebuild yourself as a diamond all over again. Why? Because the reality is, in this business, people fall off. People stop drinking their Shakeology. People stop working out because life gets in the way, the whole 9 yards. So you're always looking to rebuild yourself back up to diamond. Always, 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 always. And what happens when you're rebuilding yourself back up to diamond? You're hitting Success Club. You're earning free trips. You're getting more team cycle because now the volume is getting higher. And then when you duplicate that with your team, that's how you make money with this business. And this is where it starts. It starts in your Diamond Dream Team. And for you to really understand that this business is about achieving Success Club. Because when you are achieving Success Club every single month, then you are open for business every single month. When you're not achieving Success Club, I'm going to keep it real with you guys. You're just not working your business. When I see my coaches with 0, and they want to give me 1,000,001 reasons as to why they didn't hit Success Club, I'm like, listen, you can try to bullshit yourself, but you're not bullshitting me. You did not send out invites. You did not. You're not posting. You're not reading personal development. And you're not going through a transformation. Like, that's the bottom line. That's why those 3 vital behaviors are so crucial to our business. But if you're not hitting Success Club, guys, that's why you're struggling. You need to set those business hours. You need to track your business in order for this to happen.
So, Micki, Tara had a question, basically, and I can explain this at some point too. When you sign up a new coach, how do you know which leg they go on? Do we move them manually? So I guess, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but you know, I always check. I mean, I know which leg is strong and weak. And Alyssa, to answer your question, you know, when you go in the back office, and I will show you, you're going to see on the left-hand side, there's a little thing that says left, I don't even know now because I look at it every day. Left volume is, 1,000 and right volume is 2,000. So the one with the lesser volume is your weak leg, right? So I have my right leg is super strong and my left leg is weak. So for me right now, I'm trying to build my left leg, and that's where I place everyone that I sign up now. So Tara, just to answer your question, you can go in the back office, and I will show you guys where to do this, to basically, before you sign someone up, you can actually say, I want my next placement to go in this spot.
Yep, you can. And that's actually a very great question. And you also want to ensure that when you're signing up your coaches, that they're in what we call the outer leg, So for example, here in this Diamond Dream Team, the next coach should be like right below the last one, because sometimes they end up in the inside. So you always end up, and placing them in the inside doesn't hurt you as a coach, but it will hurt your coach, especially if they want to work the business. Because if they're in the inside leg, they don't benefit from the volume, from the coach's volume that you're placing under them, because they're somewhere stuck by themselves in a little island, And you know what? There's been a lot of coaches that have been able to build their business from an inside leg. Team Eagle isn't an inside leg. That's how we started. When Tony first signed up, he was placed in the inside leg. And then I came in, I started working the business, and then, Superstar Saudi came in, and she's a powerhouse. All you need is a handful of people that just come in and start working this business. That's the other 80-20 rule that I wanted to share with you. 20% of your coaches will work the business, 80 will not. It's just reality. It's a number game. It really is.
It's numbers.
Yeah, it is. It really is. So does this make sense with the Diamond Dream Team? Why Success Club is so important? Because when your coach is achieving Success Club, it brings a volume. So the next screen that I wanted to share with you is this one here. Okay. Do you see that one?
Yep.
Cycle bonus. Okay. Angela, do you have the link to this?
You know what? I do, but mine doesn't work. So if you can send it to me, that would be great.
Okay, I'll send it to you. Okay, so what this team, and I know the font is very small here, but I'll read it off to you, and I'll share the link with Angela so she can share with you guys, because then you're gonna start plugging in. So for example, the first example that's on here, to earn $100 a week as a diamond, you would need to build on a weekly basis 500 team volume. So the sum of all your coaches on your weak leg has to be 500, and your weak leg is you plus everybody else below you. Okay, so you sum all that up, and then on your strong leg you would need 1,000 team volume. And the good news about the strong leg is that that volume is you, everything that's above you, which is your coach, above you, and then below you. So anybody that signed up after you, that your sponsoring coach recruits, you get volume for that. That's the beauty about this business, that it is a win-win. It really is a win-win. So it's 500 on the left, 1,000 on the right. Now, I'm gonna go back to this example on the Diamond Dream Team. You see how here, they're both even, right? So it's 540 on both legs. So if you wanted to make $100 a week, you know that one of these legs has to double up in team volume. So if it's at okay, let me do the math right now. See, my banking days did come in handy. Okay, so I just said that you need 1,000 team volume, right? So that one has 540. So you still need 460 to bring that up to 1,000. If you build emeralds, every emerald is worth 270 team volume. So with 2 more emeralds that you build right there, you've got 540. You've got another 540 right there.
Right.
So now you've got 1,000.
That team cycle bonus calculator that we have, it's I'm going to share it with everybody when you give it to me. It actually gives you a tangible goal, right? So, and it's a very shocking goal. So I had a goal of X amount of dollars a week. And when I plugged it in, when we spoke, I was like, oh, okay, I need to work.
It's an eye opener.
It is an eye opener. So, and I think if everybody could see, you open your back office and you see your volume, but what does it actually translate to,
Exactly. So once I give you guys, at the end of the day, as a diamond, like every diamond coach should, aim to max out. And what I mean by max out is like the most a diamond can make is $2,000. So you want that to be ultimately your goal. So you want to plug in, if I wanted to make $2,000 a week, how much volume do I need? Okay. To make 2,000 a week, you need on your weak leg, you need 11,000 on your weak leg and 22,000 on your strong leg volume. And so that's why it's called team, because it's a team effort. So the more coaches are achieving Success Club, you know that focus on helping, first of all, focus on yourself achieving Success Club. Like make that a non-negotiable, truly a non-negotiable. And like I said, everybody has a different goal, but I knew that I wanted a 6-figure salary in this business. So my goal, 20. It was 20, and that's how I did it. It just became a non-negotiable. And the months that I was short, I remember I think it was like the second month. It was in 2013. That's when I made a conscious decision that this was happening. I think I achieved 18. So the next month, I'm like, okay, so now I got to make that up. So now it's 22. So I didn't want to be short because I didn't want to keep increasing my monthly goal. But when I was short, I made it up the next month, and I had to increase my activity. Sending out 10 invites a day was not enough. I had to do 20. And that was before the Instagram days. So like we're sitting in a gold mine right now. So I will share that team cycle bonus link with Angela, so she can share with you guys. Let me see if there was another slide here that I wanted to show. Okay, yes, here. All right. So this is what I wanted to also show, because I like to call the 2-star diamond the new diamond. You know how they say that, what is it? 30s is the new 20s or something like that, right? Is that
40s is the new 30s.
40s? Oh, okay. So then now I can say 50s is the new 40s. Yep. All right. So 2-star diamond quarterly bonus. Why does it make sense for you to achieve 2-star diamond? For a couple of reasons. The first reason is that once you achieve 2-star, you do benefit from the Star Diamond quarterly bonus. And Beachbody sets aside 2% of the company team volume, and they divide it amongst the 2-star to 15-star diamonds in the company. So the average 2-star quarterly bonus is about $1,000. So every 3 months, you get $1,000 for being a 2-star diamond coach. And during the quarter, you have to maintain your 2-star for at least 6 weeks. Okay, and you get about $1,000. Then your next goal is the 5-star. And the 5-star, again, it averages anywhere between $3,500 to $4,500. It's not too shabby every 3 months. And then when you're a 5-star, you get the 5-star bonus and the 2-star. So you get both pools. When you're a 10-star, it's anywhere between $10,000 and $15,000. And that's what really helped me fix my mom's kitchen when I got that payout. And then I got the 10-star bonus, the 5-star bonus, and the 2-star. So I got all 3. And then the 15-star bonus is anywhere between $30,000 and $50,000. And the reason, and they get all 4 bonuses there. And the reason it's a range. It's because the more, and I'm sure you've heard it on the national calls, like all of a sudden all these 15-star diamonds are popping out of, before it was only like maybe 1 or 2, and they're just popping out of everywhere, 15-star diamond coaches. So same thing with 5-star diamond coaches. So that's why it averages out. The more coaches they are in that category, the less the pool is. But, I just want to share something that's it's just crazy. Now that Saudi is a 15-star diamond coach, she's in a group just with 15-star diamond coaches. And, they share what their payouts are and how much money they're making a week. These coaches are, between all their business centers, some of these people are making like $30,000 a week.
It's crazy. It's
crazy money, but you know what? It's doable money. You just have to be willing to roll up your sleeves and sacrifice, because you're going to have to sacrifice time. In the beginning, there's a lot of sacrifice that comes with this business, but man, oh man, is it worth every second of it. There's no other company that will provide you this opportunity. There's just no other company that will do it. None at all. When I decided to replace my 6-figure, I did it in 2 years. At Citibank, it took me, about 12 years to make a 6-figure salary. So not too shabby if you ask me.
Micki, just to what you said about in the beginning, right? So April 30th will be my 2-year anniversary, and I still feel like I'm at the beginning. So what maybe you can give me, your opinion on this, but I also feel like I can see how easy it is to give up if I look back at the income when you're making $30 in the 6-month period, or when you're making $240 and you're like, really? I'm putting in all this effort and I'm making $14? Are you kidding me? So maybe you can speak to how to get, how to keep the faith through that period where you're really not seeing the $10,000 bonuses or the $2,000 weekly cycles.
Yeah, you're hitting me where what really that's why you and I clicked.
Yeah.
Because it was listen, guys, when I left Citibank, and this part I don't share a lot, so I'm going to share it with you. And let me stop sharing the screen, because I know when something powerful I want to share, I want to look at you guys. Okay. All right. So, you guys, if those of you that follow me, you'll see that every morning I do my God morning post, because my faith is just so important to me. And it was my faith that got me through all this, guys. When I left Citibank, I was not in a position to leave my job. Did I share this with you, Angela?
No.
No. Okay. When I left Citibank, I was not making a six-figure salary at all. But I will not bore you with details because it's a long story. But my health was in danger, you know, and I ended up in the hospital because I thought I was having a heart attack. So they had to rush me to the hospital from the bank. They did all kinds of crazy tests, and it was just stress. It was stress. And I was taking medication to calm my nerves down, just because it was just very nerve-wracking. And you know what? Six-figure salary was not going to bring me 6 feet under. So I had to sit down and take a piece of paper and write down my pros and my cons as to why I had to leave Citibank. I knew that leaving Citibank, I was going to have no health insurance. I mean, I even had to stop paying my life insurance because I couldn't afford it. It was many things that I just had to give up. And there were times, Angela, that I was tempted to go out and find a job, you know, because again, I was not. When I left Citibank, I think I might have been making $500 to $600 a week, which is not bad money, but not compared to a six-figure salary. And out of the $400 or $500, you know, I had to take out 35% of that to give to Uncle Sam. And I was still tying my money regardless, because that was not going to stop. So I was really left with shit. I really was, you know. And I remember one day saying, you know what, I just need to go out and I need to put my ego between my legs and just need to go get a job. And I remember that day I got a message from a very good friend of mine as I was, you know, praying to God that I needed to find a job. And I got a message that said, be still. And this is what I'm telling you. Like, when I tell you that I live my life by faith, I live my life by faith. I really do. And that's why, you know, I tell coaches who are ready that they want to quit, I'm like, you can't quit. But you didn't, Micki. I'm like, that was my journey. That was my journey, so I can learn this shit, so I can help you. But I'm not letting you quit because you're not ready to quit. You know, it's almost like I felt like I had to do it for the team. Seriously, guys. And yeah, I was at a point, you know, where I would see my checks go from like $600, and then it was a bad week, and it was like $200, $300 a week. Mm-hmm. And now I'm freaking out, you know. I couldn't pay insurance. I was scared that something was going to happen to me because I didn't have I couldn't afford anything. So I'm like, I said, you know, I'm either going to sit here and worry. And for me, worrying is like praying for something that you don't want. So I said, I need to stop worrying. I just need to stop that. Because I knew, like, I couldn't even explain it, but I just knew that I was in the right place. But I also knew that I had to up my game.
Right.
You know, like, am I really doing, because it was hard in the beginning to do this full-time, guys. I didn't have anybody to report to, you know, and I would find myself like, okay, I remember the first day, I'm like, okay, so what do I do now? I don't have to do a morning huddle. I don't have to do reports at 10 o'clock. And I'm like, who's waiting for me? You know, nobody's waiting for me. And it took me a while to get into a routine, leaving it. Like, in the beginning, I was more disciplined when I was working full-time.
Right, because you have the luxury. No, you know, you only have a short amount of time to get it in.
Exactly. You know, so Angela, you know, to your answer, it was I just had to triple what I was doing. Yeah. I just had to, you know, share my drive with my team, share my vision with my team. I'm like, you guys ready to run with me? Like, you know, I asked for help. That's what I did at that point. Like, I was very, you know, desperate. I'm like, team, this is where I'm at right now. This is what my goals are. This is what my vision is. Can I count on you? Can we do this together? And that's how it happened. It was like that. That's it. It was again, my efforts had to triple. Yeah. And it's just crazy. I can tell, like, like all of a sudden, like, it's just like, oh wow, this is like everybody's hitting Success Club. Success Club is the secret to this business. When each and every one of you hits Success Club, you're all helping each other. It's not even just about you. You're helping the team because everybody benefits from each other's volume. That's it.
Amen.
That's what does it. That is really what does it. So, so I knew that, like if I see that my team, when I take a look at sometimes my volume, I see it drops a little bit. I go back, I'm like, no Success Club here, no Success Club here. That's what's happening. And we're in the business of helping people. And when I take a look at my weekly, commissions, it's just a clear indication that, my team is working. It's a team. You can't do this by yourself. You cannot. You need a team. Total. Because as I don't know if you recall, Angela, we had coaches a while back. I think you were here already. We had a coach that was hitting 100 Success Club points a month.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was insane. It was insane what she was doing. But she wasn't duplicating herself. She wasn't helping her team. She was just doing it by herself. And you know what happened? She burnt out. Total burnt out. Haven't heard her name in God knows how long. Because truly, this is a team. That's why it's so important that you share your stories. That you share, I used to do what I used to call purpose parties. And then just invite the team and share my story. I'm like, guys, this is who I am. This is what my drive is. And then, this is a relationship business, and when you empower each other, to go after these crazy, massive goals, and you do it together as a team, that's what does it. You see any of these huge, successful teams, there's so much unity because everybody wants the same thing.
Right. And
then meeting people where they're at. You got to meet people where they're at. That's what does it, there's some coaches that, don't want to work this as a business. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's really nothing wrong with that. And, even your coaches that come in with, that they only want the discount, don't discount your discount coaches at all. Because as I showed you on that graph, every coach is worth volume, whether they work the business or not, and all that volume adds up. Your success partner, Angela, was one of my discount coaches.
Right.
And she sneaked into one of my challenge groups.
I know, she told me this story.
That's okay. Bye, Diana.
Bye, honey.
Yeah. So, but I know it's late and I don't want to, hold you guys up, but, if you guys have any questions, feel free to,
if anybody has any questions, Micki, first of all, thank you so much. I really think that, we do so much, I guess, like specific training on little topics, but I think the overview that you gave of the understanding how the business actually works and how we are really a team effort.
Yeah.
Everybody has to do their part, and then we'll start reaping the benefits from it.
Mm-hmm. That's what it is.
It really is. It's just everybody doing their part, hitting Success Club, doing all their daily activities, their 3 vital behaviors. And then, because I think, because it's my team, I think we're a pretty kick-ass team. Like everybody has amazing strengths and stories, and we all come from, different backgrounds. And I think we can really, honestly take it to the top. So if anybody has, thank you, Micki. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Absolutely.
If anybody has questions, raise your hand and I'll unmute you. I know a whole bunch of people are leaving, and that's fine.
That's fine.
I know it's staying on. Yeah, it's late.
Yeah, no,
hold on, Christine. I see you. Okay, Christine.
Hey, Micki. I just have a question about signing up every single person as a coach. I just heard that, that's a good thing to do recently.
Yes.
And so what I struggle with though is how you sign them up as a coach, but then they are automatically billed for the club. you know, and so if they don't want to work the business, you know, they don't really need the club. So do you go then and tell everybody, you know, do the call in and cancel that before you get billed for it? Because I feel like that's, you know, I don't want to be ingenuine to somebody by saying, do this coach thing, and then now you're going to get billed an extra $40 for.
So this is what I do with that. And thank goodness, because honestly, before, what is your first name? Because all I see is your last name.
Christine.
Christine. Okay. Christine. Before, like, honestly, I didn't find that there was a value to selling the team club membership. Like, there really wasn't. But now with Beachbody On Demand, there is.
Mm-hmm.
So now when I'm signing them up, I'm like, you know, by the way, you get a 30-day free trial of the Beachbody On Demand, and I explain what that is. It automatically comes free. If you don't want it, you have to make sure to send them an email so you don't get billed. I'm very specific with it.
Okay.
And I've also included it in my welcome email. So my welcome email lets them know that there's 3 types of coaches. The one that just wants a discount, retail, and then the business builder. And then I break down, like, everything's in writing just so I can CYA.
Okay, exactly. Because I feel like I don't want to sign somebody up and then them come to me like, you never tell me about this. And
yeah, but I always tell them, you know, I said, you know, I don't even call it the club membership. I said, you get Beachbody On Demand.
Yeah.
You have access to over 20, you know, programs. And as new programs come out, you get a sneak peek. It's free for you for the 30 days, automatically free. And then on day 31, you will be billed if you want to keep it. If you don't want to keep it, you have to send the email. So I'm very specific.
Micki, is that your standard new coach welcome email?
Yeah, I kind of combined a couple of welcome emails and I put them, I could share with you, see if you if you
Yeah,
like.
that would be awesome.
Yeah. I do that, and then you'll see it, and I'll send you the attachment that I send along with it.
Okay, cool.
Because we're in the relationship business, you want to get to know your coaches. So, but you'll see it. I'll share with you. So I owe you that, and then I owe you the
team cycle.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else questions?
I have another one.
Go. Go.
I'm taking Nicole's place. That's why.
I love it.
So just a question about the cold market and the warm market. So, you know, in the beginning, we have lots of people that are close in, you know, in our parameter for the warm market, and we're reaching out and people are seeing us. And those are the people that usually kind of follow us on Facebook already and stuff like that. How do you make the leap from your warm market to your cold market?
Number one, in the beginning for me, again, because there was no Instagram and I didn't really understand the like page or anything like that, I would ask for referrals from people. So first it was my warm market, and then it was asking referrals from my warm market. Initially, like the first 2 years that I was really working my business, that's how I did it. A lot was referral based. Mm-hmm. And then that started dying out because it does die out. And then came Instagram. And I don't know why I was such a hard head with Instagram in the beginning. But that's where I've been
guilty.
It was like, you know, but that's where I've been getting my coaches. I've been getting my challengers is by sharing my story through pictures in Instagram. And most importantly is when you're sharing your pictures on social media, you want to make sure that your social media pictures have a purpose, have like a hidden message in there that really talks about the benefit of being a coach, what this business has done for you. You see how I read off to you in the beginning that I came from a single mom, and that's all in bullet points. And that picture brought me 3 coaches because they were able to relate to what I was sharing. And these people, of course, you know, have been following me for a while, just because, you know, it's just really, really important. So Instagram is important to us. Yes, Tara, very.
I know.
Sorry to break the news.
Micki, we need you back to do an Instagram training.
Well, I'll invite you. I'm actually going to host one with one of my coaches who's really good in Instagram.
Okay.
And I'm going to speak with him tomorrow so we can schedule a date.
We would love that.
You're more than welcome to join.
Please,
okay,
because I am like, I can't, these girls know I'm like, you should be on Instagram, but I can't help you.
Yeah, that's
and I'm on it, but I don't work it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I'll let you know when I'll definitely let you know when the date is so that you don't suck anymore at Instagram.
Excellent. That should be the topic. Don't suck at Instagram.
Oh, you know what? I like that. Maybe that's what I should call a team called Don't Suck at Instagram.
I like it. All right, cool.
All right, ladies. Thank you so much for.
Thank you so much. This was so great. It's so nice to have a fresh face and somebody experienced and not me talking.
Well, yeah, though that's how I feel with my calls. After a while, I'm like, they don't even listen to me anymore.
No, it's funny.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Micki. If anybody wants to stay on after Alyssa, even if you want to stay on, I'll show you something.
Okay. Good night.
Good night, Micki. Thank you.
You're welcome, sweetheart.
Wait, what are you going to show her? Because I might just stay on for that.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh my gosh, let me stop the recording.